Yo guys, it's You Look Upset, and I am back with another quick little updated guide for the Project Ascension Bronzebeard Warcraft Reborn Classic Plus server. This time coming at you from the breathtaking views of the scenic Thunder Bluff. Look at this. I love this city. This little guide is going to be in response to the update that went out yesterday, the quick little nerfs that went out for snapshotting. And now, if you guys watched my original Affliction PvE guide, when I'm talking about snapshotting there, the only things that are supposed to be being snapshotted are percentage-based damage modifiers and critical strike modifiers. There was a bug that was letting us snapshot not only the percentage-based damage modifiers and the critical strike modifiers, but also snapshotting our haste and our spell power, which was insanely broken. You could snapshot Bloodlust, Eradication, PIs, all that stuff into a giga-juiced corruption, and your corruption was just absolutely slapping damage. That kind of play style is actually not that fun to play around, so I'm glad that it got fixed. I mean, if you were snapping all of that haste into your corruption, if I put a corruption on here, it starts off at 16 seconds. Your corruption was lasting like 6 seconds. Trying to play around and keeping up a 6-second corruption was just not fun to play around. Any little mechanic or any misplay and you would lose that snapshot of corruption, and if that happened, you might as well just forget about it and just log out, because all your damage was gone if you lost that snapshot. So personally, I'm glad that they reverted it and snapshotting is working how it's intended to work. If you want a little detailed explanation of how snapshotting is working, you can watch my previous Affliction video. I'll put that in the description here, but I'm not going to go into that too much. I'm just going to go over the changes that went into the MEs and this new build that is being coined around the Warlock Bronzebeard Discord as the Doom build. It's a very strong single target build, which I believe will be the meta for single target builds with how the MEs got buffed up a little bit. They tried to nerf us, boys. They really tried, but we're warlocks. We can't be stopped. These are the cookie cutter talents that you're going to want to use for this build. Now, the only 2 points that I feel like are negotiable here are improved drain soul. This is the build that I'm going to run. With this build, you will be absolutely cranking. Threat is an issue. So unless you have a paladin in your back pocket who's casting Hand of Salves on you on CD, and he actually plays the game and presses his buttons and knows when to bop you, the safest play is going to just be running improved drain soul here. Our biggest damage coming from this Doom build is, you guessed it, Curse of Doom. Curse of Doom is an affliction spell. Corruption is also an affliction spell. Having 20% reduced threat on your biggest damage is very strong. So that's 20% reduced threat on both of your biggest damage spells, which makes improved drain soul a very good 2 points to invest here. You're also going to use improved Curse of Agony. As I get into the rotation a little bit, you will see that our 2 curses that we are using will be Agony and Doom. So an extra 10% damage on your Agony makes the 2 points invested here very well worth it as well. Before, we were using Soul Harvest in my last video. Now, this is still a very good legendary mystic enchant. You can still follow that guide and pump out very respectable damage, but with the buff to Doomcaller's Wrath, this build for single target here is going to do more damage than my original video, and we're going to swap out Soul Harvest for Endless Agony. Now, the reason we're going to do this is because every time your Agony ticks, it's going to put a debuff on the target called Endless Agony. That increases the damage dealt to the target with Curse of Agony by 3% and Curse of Doom by 6%. And this stacks up to 20 times, which makes your Agony do, at max stacks, 60% increased damage, but your Doom 120% increased damage from Doom. And not only that, if you could read right there, it says dealing damage with Drain Life reduces the active duration and cooldown of your Curse of Doom by 3 seconds. The reason why I'm doing this quick little guide here for you is because Drain Life is going to be our new filler, which is, it's a very weird playstyle. If you've played Affliction in past iterations of the game, you've never played with a rotation like this in a PvE scenario. So that's why I wanted to put this little guide out here for you so that you guys can see it in action and replicate it. It's very simple, very easy to crank. And then that'll bring us right up to Curse Weaver. This is a non-negotiable Mystic enchant. Like I said in my last video, not only is it amazing to be able to use 2 curses, but we're also going to take that 4% damage from each curse on the target and snapshot that into our corruption, which makes Curse Weaver very, very strong. We will be using Curse of Doom and Curse of Agony on the target, and that brings us down to Doomcaller's Wrath. Now, this Mystic enchant was just buffed yesterday in the update. Whenever you use your Curse of Doom, it will give you a 100% proc for your eradication. Your eradication is in your talents, and when you deal damage with corruption, you have a 6% chance to increase your spellcasting speed by 20%. Now, even though it says spellcasting speed, what it really means is that it's going to increase your haste by 20% for 15 seconds, which is insanely strong. This is probably one of the best talents in the entire tree. So buffing that through Doomcaller's Wrath and being able to have a 100% proc every time you cast Doom makes it very strong. And not only that, it increases the duration by 5 seconds. So instead of 10 seconds, your eradication is going to last for 15 seconds. And on top of that buff, it was buffed again to increase the damage of your Curse of Doom by 30%. So in synergy with Endless Agony, your Curse of Doom is now doing 150% increased damage, which is juicy. Eternal Torment, we're going to keep this one the same. Casting Haunt on the target makes your next Haunt a 100% increase critical strike. And not only that, it increases the damage over time effects by an additional 5%, which also works with Curse of Doom. Just from these core MEs here, our Curse of Doom is doing 155% increased damage, which is a lot. I like it a lot. That'll bring us into the blue MEs. Glyph of Quick Decay is our bread and butter. It makes haste affect our corruption. Any chance we get to buff that is very good. And it also, like we talked about a little bit before with eradication, your corruption has a 6% chance to proc eradication. So between your corruptions and your dooms, you are almost going to have a 100% uptime on this eradication proc in a raid scenario, which is, I mean, it's cracked. The next one will be on Holy Power. Since we're using Drain Life as a filler, we got rid of our Shadow Bolt MEs, and to be honest, there's not really any other good blue ones to fill in. So Unholy Power increases the damage of our Fell Hunter by 20%. It's free damage. Why not? We're going to use Glyph of Haunt, which of course has synergy with Eternal Torment and increases the damage of our damage over time effects by an additional 3%. Very strong. Demonic Aegis and Glyph of Life Tap will remain the same. This not only gives us from 50 up to 65 spell power on our Fell Armor, which we will always use 100% of the time, but it also increases the conversion of our Spirit to spell power by nearly 60%. So every time you life tap, you are getting 6 spell power for every 10 spirit that you have, which makes this very, very good. And that brings us to our last blue ME. Since we are using Endless Agony and we are casting Agony on the target, it only makes sense to use the Glyph of Curse of Agony, which extends the duration by 4 seconds and makes this a very good ME to invest in to round out the build. The stat priority is going to remain the same. We want to get our spell hit rating to 17% is the cap. If you know you're going to have a Drain Eye in your party and a Shadow Priest or a Fairy Fire on the boss, you can walk into the raid with 13%. But the ultimate goal is to get to 17%. That being said, I'm going to go right into spell penetration. Now, this is a weird one. Throughout all the various expansions and iterations of WoW that I've played, I've never heard of needing spell penetration in a PvE scenario. And I can't get a definitive answer on this from Ascension. I find it very weird that you need spell pen, especially since it doesn't say that you need it in the tooltip. Like this, for example, like it straight up tells you that you need a 17% chance to hit to never miss a raid boss. But it doesn't say anything about needing spell penetration in a PvE scenario. But that being said, the overall consensus in the Warlock community from some very knowledgeable sources, such as my man Stex, who put out the detailed snapshotting guide in the Warlock Bronzebeard Discord, is that you need 60 spell pen in PvE for Project Ascension. I wouldn't give up a ton of stats or spell power to reach this. As you can see, my spell penetration is only at 13, and I'm still pretty much top damage on every single fight that I'm in a raiding scenario, and I don't have 60 spell pen. So after that, it's going to be spell power, or spell power is king, as much as you can get. After that, it's going to be spirit. The conversion of spirit to spell power is for every 10 spirit, you will get 6 spell power. Now for affliction, in my opinion, I feel like spirit equals haste. You want as much haste as you can get. Haste is very, very strong. So don't sleep on haste. And then we really don't care about crit other than our initial snapshot in the corruption. None of our other spells in this build crit. We really don't care about it at all. I'll talk about snapshotting a little bit like I did in my previous video. You still want to snapshot your potency potion and your Hazaraz Charm of Destruction in the opener. And if you want to get super sweaty, like I said in my last video, it is a DPS increase to have a weapon swap with the crit stone, snapshot that bad boy, and make it happen. But for those of us that are a little more casual, it's not going to make or break your DPS. In the opener here, you're going to want to, as the pull timer is ticking down with a couple seconds left, you want to life tap, and then you want to pop your potency potion. Then you want to haunt, pop your CDs, doom, agony, corruption, UA, and then you're draining life. You're draining life, and you never want this to fall. So you're replacing haunt on CD, and you're draining life. Now look how fast your doom is ticking down when you were draining life. This is why we drain life as the filler. And then as soon as that goes off, you boom, you doom again. And then you keep up UA, and then you're draining. Draining, draining, draining. Replace this. You never want the Shadow's Embrace debuff to fall. You're draining to reduce your dooms. Keep up agonies so that you never drop endless agony. And that's the whole rotation. As soon as the doom's off, replace it. And that's the whole rotation. You're draining, replace your dots, and you're just trying to let this doom just tick down. As soon as it's gone, replace it. Keep up your debuffs, keep up agony, and you're draining life. Now you can see that I'm holding 2.6 DPS on this dummy right now, and I am not even that geared. But as you look at the damage profile here, look at your Curse of Doom. All your damage is coming from Curse of Doom and that original snapshotted corruption. It's a very easy build. It absolutely cranks, and that's the whole rotation. That's the whole guide. Very simple, very easy to replicate. I want to give a quick shout out to my man Smorholm. Not only is this guy a very, very good warlock, he supports my videos and we talk from time to time, but he has his own thread for this Doom build in the Bronzebeard Warlock Discord, where he is kind of took it upon himself to pioneer this build out. He gives a very detailed written descriptions. If you learn better from reading than you do from watching a video, go over and give his thread a look through. He explains it very well. He's a very talented player, very talented warlock. We have a very positive and a lot of amazing, great players in the Discord coming through and theory crafting different builds, such as this Doom build here. So my hat's off to you boys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys at the top of the meters. GG's.